The snow fell silently over the ruined village of Hohendorf, a forgotten place between Germany and Poland, where the wind still carried echoes of a war long buried. People said the land there remembered everything, every scream, every gunshot, every footstep that once marked the world's darkest days. But no one spoke about the ash road, the narrow path that cut through the dead forest like a scar. No one except the old farmers and the few soldiers who came back from the war with trembling hands. They said the ash road swallowed men. They said it kept the ones who died there. But most terrifying of all, they said sometimes the road gave one back. The mysterious stranger in 1974, nearly 30 years after the war, a young mechanic named Emil Richter was driving through the region when his truck broke down near Hohendorf. He was cursing the cold, kicking the tire, when he noticed a figure standing at the edge of the forest. A man, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a long gray coat that looked far older than the Cold War era Emil lived in. The man raised his hand, not waving, not calling for help, just raising it slowly, like someone remembering an old salute. Emil approached him cautiously. "Sir, are you all right?" The man's eyes were pale, distant, unfocused. His boots were covered in ash-gray dust, and his coat was unmistakably a 1940s Wehrmacht greatcoat. Emil swallowed hard. "You, from a reenactment? A museum?" The man didn't answer immediately. His voice, when it came, was hoarse. "Is the war over?" Emil felt his stomach twist. There was no way this man was acting. Something was deeply wrong. "What war?" Emil asked. The man blinked slowly. "The one that never ended." He claimed to be a soldier who died in 1945. Emil brought the man to a nearby barn to warm up. The stranger introduced himself slowly, with uncertainty. "My name is Otto Brandt, Sergeant, German Army. We were retreating from the east. Red Army was days away. My unit was ordered to take the ash road. But the forest wasn't normal." He paused as if reliving it. "We walked into fog, thick, heavy. Wrong? Men vanished inside it. Footsteps, screams, then silence. We kept marching until shadows moved between the trees. Not Russians, not Germans, not human." Emil felt the hair on his arms rise. "What happened to you?" he asked. Brandt looked down at his gloves, frayed, burned at the edges. "I ran. A blast behind me, heat, fire, then nothing. When I opened my eyes, the forest was quiet. I walked until I reached the road again. Everything looked older, different." He stared intensely into Emil's eyes. "I think the forest kept me, and then it let me go." The unexplainable detail. Emil took Brandt to the local sheriff. They questioned him for hours. The man knew impossible things. The exact positions of German divisions from 1945. Names of officers long dead, passwords, and radio codes no civilian could know. The location of a bunker buried under the forest that no map showed anymore. The sheriff thought it was a prank until they checked the archives. There was indeed a Sergeant Otto Brandt, declared KIA in March 1945, near Hohendorf. But Brandt's body had never been recovered. Even stranger, Brandt looked exactly like his 1944 ID photo. Not aged, not weakened, frozen in time. The return to Ash Road authorities from Berlin arrived. They asked Brandt dozens of questions. Some whispered he might be a Soviet experiment. Others thought he was insane. But one historian, Dr. Klaus Mertner, believed him. There were reports. Mertner said, entire platoons disappearing in that forest. The locals said the road took them. Perhaps. Whatever happened, there was not natural. Brandt insisted on returning to the forest. He said he felt something unfinished. Emil went with him. So did two soldiers and Dr. Mertner. They followed Brandt as he retraced his steps past the frozen creek, past the broken fence, into the fog-soaked trees. The deeper they walked, the quieter the world became. No birds, no wind, no sound, only breath and shadows between the trees. The truth of what happened. Ned Brandt stopped suddenly. This is where they died, he whispered. The group looked around. Nothing but dead trees and gray ash covering the ground. Then one of the soldiers pointed. Tracks, boot prints, old, but impossibly preserved, like they'd been burned into the ground. Brandt kneeled. These were my men. He followed the prints until they suddenly vanished, ended mid-step, as if the men had evaporated into the air. Brandt sank to his knees. I should have died with them. The fog thickened. Shapes moved within it, tall, blurred silhouettes. Whispers fluttered like broken radio static. Emil felt cold stab through his spine. Brandt, we need to leave. But Brandt stood. No, I think I was released to bring someone back. He stepped forward. The fog swallowed him instantly. OTTO. No, Emil shouted. But it was too late. Brandt's figure dissolved into the gray mist as if the forest had reclaimed him. The whispers faded. The fog retreated. The forest became silent again. Brandt never came back. The final discovery 2 days later. A search team found something buried beneath the ash, a rusted dog tag name. Otto Brandt, death. 1945. But what chilled Emil most, the dog tag was still warm, as if someone had held it only moments earlier. The official report said, former German soldier, unidentified male, disappeared in forest, possibly delusional. But Emil knew the truth. The forest had returned a man who didn't belong to this time, and then it took him back, finishing the war it never forgot. Some nights, when the wind is right, villagers still hear footsteps along the ash road. A soldier marching home from a war that ended for everyone except him.